on, everybody? Welcome back to More Reactions. My name is Jeff. Today we are going to look at, I guess you could say, like part two of a debate between this Kevin Stage, Doughboy, and Tony Baker. This time they're discussing specifically who is the GOAT between Lauryn Hill and Nicki Minaj. So, without further ado, let's get to it.
Hello and welcome to the very first episode of That's Debatable, the first structured debate show. A lot of stuff we do on this is non-structured, yelling and talking over each other, and Doughboy came up with this great way to not do that, and here we go. So, the way the game works, just like a court of law, Doughboy has challenged Tony Baker. Doughboy believes Nicki Minaj is the greatest female rapper of all time. Tony Baker believes that Lauryn Hill is the greatest female rapper of all time. So we will have opening arguments by both sides. We'll have 4 points of argument, the cross-examination round, and then we will have the closing arguments. And you, the audience, you will decide who has made the better argument. Who swayed you? What did you believe before? What do you believe now? Who presented the better argument? You put that in the comments. Airing live for our Patreon. If you're watching on YouTube, you are watching it after our Patreons have had it. So they have the live debate. You have the regular debate. I am merely the judge and the mediator. I have no opinion. I make no statements. That is up to you, the viewing public. Shall we begin, gentlemen? And also, I forgot to mention that the opening and closing arguments are timed. Opening arguments are exactly 90 seconds. I have my stopwatch here. Doughboy, are you ready?
I was born ready, sir.
90 seconds on the clock and begin.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want you to take this walk with me. This walk down memory lane to a place where two beautiful black queens both hold special but different places in the heart of hip-hop purists forever. Lauryn Hill, Nicki Minaj. And before we go any further, I'm going to take a brief moment to acknowledge the greatness of both of these women as I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
I'm not talking.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. No. Wait. Oh, wait. Start over. Stop. Hold on. Stop it.
He's not talking. He's just looking at you.
Stop it.
I stopped it.
Hold on. This thing is, hold on. Stop 1 second. I feel like Teddy Riley. Hold on 1 second.
Oh.
Hold on.
Right.
The courtroom is like
I got it. Now I got it.
Okay.
You want to start over?
Let me just start over. I'll snap through it. I got you.
You don't want to start over.
Oh boy, Riley.
We're leaving this in the edit. If you were a lawyer and you messed up, it would stay in 90 seconds back on the clock. You stumbled with your opening argument, sir.
Okay, here we go. You ready, sir?
Hold on. I had already started. Ready? 90 seconds on the clock and begin.
Okay. Opening statement. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want you to take a walk with me down memory lane to a place where two beautiful black queens hold special but different places in the heart of hip-hop forever. Lauryn Hill, Nicki Minaj. Before we go any further, I'm going to take a brief moment to acknowledge the greatness of both of these women.
Yes,
now, for the purpose of this debate, I'm going to have to discredit the prosecution's argument for the sake of my client, but that doesn't take away from the respect and admiration I have for both. I'm going to come and show you opinion over fact. And that as nostalgic as Lauryn's music was, or those bars that might have impressed you in college, that's just a warm and fuzzy moment. It's not a fact. The fact is, Lauryn doesn't even rap enough to be in this conversation. I'm going to cite lyrics, impact, sales, and awards to highlight how, hands down, Nicki is the GOAT. And Lauryn Hill made a great R&B album with a few rap verses sprinkled in. Keep up as I take you on this walk with me to a place called The Truth.
All right, Tony Baker. 90 seconds is on the clock. Ready? Begin.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'd like to also extend my respect to both of these women out here in the game, blazing it, killing it like they did. We all know what they did, and they blew it up perfectly. Respect to them. But I'm here to argue that what Lauryn Hill did was unprecedented, and it stands the test of time. It stands the test of time. I want to argue the facts, the numbers, and the opinion, okay? Saying somebody is better than somebody else is based on opinion, so there is no fact here. Just going on pure lyricism, numbers, awards, impact. That's what we're doing out here today. All right, that's it.
All right, Tony Baker, you have the floor first.
Hate to say
You have the floor
but,
to argue.
Nicki's
Sales.
had a bigger impact than Lauryn Hill,
Real quick,
y'all.
A quick aside. I know we're doing this live on Patreon. Should these be times as well?
Around.
No, let him go. Let him go.
All right, cool. All right, Tony, you got the floor.
You don't see a bunch of Lauryn Hill.
Sales.
Gentlemen of the jury. Now, if we look at the sales of Nicki Minaj, they're phenomenal. Her debut album debuted at number 2 on the Billboard charts only because she went up against Kanye West, My Dark, Twisted, Beautiful Fantasy, that same weekend. But the numbers were close. The numbers were close. They probably would have been a little further had Kanye not did what he did to Taylor Swift before this album's release. But nonetheless, Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday was quite the debut. Okay, she came out swinging. It debuted at number 2, and it stayed high on the chart. Became a phenomenal seller. Let's talk about Lauryn Hill sales. Now, the debut Fugees album, nobody bought. It went hot and wood. Fugees came back. They retooled. They went back to the shop. Came back with The Score, which also debuted the same opening week as Tupac's All Eyes on Me. So they also had a number 2 debut on the chart. The Score went on to sell 6 million copies domestically, 22 million copies worldwide. Lauryn Hill breaks off, does her solo album. Sales over 500,000 opening weekend. Her solo debut outsold The Score domestically. 8 million copies domestically, 19 million worldwide. You talk about numbers. Very few artists, period, are doing those kind of numbers. Rest my case.
Doughboy, you have the floor.
Okay, I'm glad that you brought up sales because my artist, Nicki Minaj, was the first female rapper to ever, all things considered, sell 100 million units of everything that she's done. So she has 4 solo albums. She's collaborated with different people. All of her sales, she has 100 million. And she is not in a group. She is not in a group with 2 other established people so she can piggyback those. She's always been by herself. So when you take that 100 million, even if you took the 22 million from the group and you took the 19 million from her solo effort, that would give you 41 million, which would still put you 59 short of where Onika is right now, and she is still counting. She has been doing music for 10 years. Lauryn Hill gave you music for 2 summers. She gave you music from 96 to 98. And then the fact that Nicki Minaj gave us 3 mixtapes before she even came, and then she gave us 4 solo albums, and she sold 100 million. So 100 million to 41 million. You do the math, sir. Let's go.
Okay.
May I?
No, you cannot.
I think we should add a rebuttal part if this. Yeah, I think you have to be able to rebut while we're still on the sales thing. We're still figuring this show out, guys. Tony, you have the rebuttal thing, and then Double, you can rebut.
I would like to offer my rebuttal now. Nicki Minaj.
We should probably just do 1 rebuttal per thing.
Okay.
And then we'll go to the next one. All right, Tony, you have the floor.
Here's my rebuttal on that. Now, Nicki Minaj may have amassed 100 million in sales, but that is due to the streaming counts. The streaming counts have changed the game, and she's put out so much content that, of course, is going to add up to 100 million eventually. Now, the streams are a different ball game than when Lauryn Hill was out. When Lauryn Hill came out, you had to go buy the singles. You had to go buy the albums. It wasn't disposable like, we're just listening to it, but we didn't put in the work to really buy a Nicki Minaj project. We're just listening to the album on Apple Music, on Spotify, something that we already paid.
That's why I don't think the sales
now, album sales back in the day, you had to put the work in. You had to go buy the actual album. Today, if you had to go buy the actual Nicki Minaj album, her numbers would be lower. If you look at opening weekends, when you look at the actual albums purchased versus the stream count, it's usually way lower, especially with Black artists. Now, Those sales Lauryn Hill amassed are pure album sales. They actually bought the whole album. It's not an accumulation of all the singles, all the collabs she's ever done. She has a bigger body of work. Lauryn Hill hit it and quit it. She came in hot, dipped out quick.
All right, Tony, I think we'll time the rebuttals 2 minutes max. Okay. Doughboy, you have a chance to rebut Tony.
Okay. Actually, well, I can't put my client on trial because of technology. That is not her fault. That is not nothing that we can control. Sometimes things just change. What I can say though, for the situation as far as sales, people were buying a lot more albums back then. It was a lot more easier. Since you bring up streams, did you know the calculation that we come up with the streams? You actually have to get 1,500 listens to get one stream for an album. So they calculated. I'm not going to get into the weeds of how they count it. All I'm knowing is that the people that are counting and measuring sales, I'm pretty sure they know better than you and I. And they say 100 million to 41 million to the 41 million that she has, and she did it with herself and a group. If we were just talking about what she did by herself, we'd be talking about 19 million to 100 million. But I'm gonna just leave that one right there.
Okay. Now, Doughboy, you have the floor.
I have one question.
No, we can.
I think this is a question of how the show works.
Okay.
No. It was a question about, are you counting her sales for her albums, or are you counting everything she's ever done?
I'm counting everything that she's ever done, because we're counting everything that Nicki did, because we're counting her group work. Well, then let's count my clients' work with other artists.
Oh, I was just checking. So you can't say it's 19 million versus 100. Then you got to go back to the 40 something.
Okay, but all music encompassed being sold, 100 million to 41 is the final tally. However you want to break it down, Tony Baker.
Okay, Doughboy, you have the floor. The next segment is lyrics.
Lyrics, and I could not wait to talk about this. Now, everybody is talking about Lauryn Hill is the greatest rapper. That's what this debate is, right? So I just want to hear her rap, make her rap. So on this classic album that she gave us with The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, did you know that she gave us 16 songs, okay? She gave us 16 songs. Of those 16 songs, 10 of them, she did not say one rap on. She said 0 raps on 10 of the songs. So then there's 6 songs left. 4 of the 6 songs, she raps 1 verse. The last 2 songs, she gives us 5 verse. What I'm saying is I did the hard work to find out Lauryn Hill gave us 9 verses that she rapped on that entire album. 9 verses. I said, we cannot be calling her the GOAT over 9 verses. That is impossible. This cannot be happening. So like you said, her first album, the group album was a dance. Let's just talk about the score. Because she did that with her buddies and she rapped with them. I went through the entire album. She said 11 verses. 11 verses on the entire album. How do you rap more on your group album than you do on your solo album? And just to quantify that for you, we have 20 verses from this woman. 20 verses that we can count to say she is the greatest. 20 verses. Nicki Minaj came out with 3 mixtapes before she came out with 1 album, and she was just rapping. On her first album, she had 36 verses. 36. I went through and looked through all her catalog. I found 238 verses of her rapping. 238 verses. And all the other people, this is the last thing I want to do to say this. Let's just talk about the people that she collaborated with, because I can kind of tell you who's hot. I'm gonna just give you a really quick list of people that she has collaborated with. And I'm gonna say this as quickly as possible because I don't want this to go on for too long. Here we go, really quickly, and then I'm gonna let you talk. These are the people that she has collaborated with. Drake, 2 Chainz, Lil Wayne, Eminem, Nas, Jay-Z, Rick Ross, Flo Rida, Birdman, Big Sean, Madonna, Alicia Keys, B.O.B., Frisk Montana, Future, Mano, Sierra, Busta Rhymes, Chris Brown, DJ Khaled, Usher, Juicy J, Beyonce, Ray Shremmen, Young Thug, Meek Mill, Ty Dolla $ign, Katy Perry, Lil Uzi Vert, Post Malone, Avril Lavigne, Meg Stallion, G-Eazy, Pop Smoke, Gucci Mane, Ariana Grande, T-Pain, Fabulous, Jadakiss, Robin Thicke, Trina, Rocco, OJ the Deuce Man, Waka Flocka, Diddy, Pharrell, The Weeknd, Keisha Cole, DaBaby, Sean Kingston, 21 Savage, Offset, Pusha T, Rich the Kid, Playboy Cardi, Chance the Rapper, Maroon 5, Britney Spears, Wiz Khalifa, Soulja Boy, Fergie, and Mariah Carey. And I have $20 for you right now. If you can tell me 1 rap song that Lauryn Hill is rapping with anybody other than Pras and Wyclef. Go.
Tony, you have the floor.
Now that I have the floor, that's an impressive catalog. Very impressive catalog. And although Lauryn Hill didn't make a feature with everybody in the music game, period, that does not diminish what she did with the music she put out. Yes, Nicki Minaj has worked from everybody from 2 Chainz to the lady at the local Chevron. That doesn't mean it's necessarily better. You know what I'm saying? She's put out quite a body of work. I'm not arguing that. But when we argue the greatest MCs, a couple of MCs always come up in the greatest of all time conversation. Biggie Smalls. He only did 2 albums, but he's always in the conversation. Andre 3000 is always in the conversation. He's never done a solo rap album. But when he's put into the conversation, oh yeah.
Recognize
he has said
talent.
Impact. It made a difference. Now, just because Nicki Minaj is she's spreading herself thin. All of those features, a lot of times, nobody cares.
I don't put him in my top 10 for
nobody. When you're working with everybody under the, all right, oversaturation. I come from a firm belief that less is more. You know, when you miss an artist, sometimes when they come back, it's like, oh, yes, bro. Give us this refreshment.
Put in the work.
Now you throwing all that out there like it makes her more, impactful than what Lauryn Hill was able to do. Nicki Minaj didn't even have a #1 single on her own. She does not have a #1 Billboard single on her own. Her highest charting single on her own was #2, and that was Anaconda. Lauryn Hill, that thing, where she's rapping the whole song and singing her own hook, debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts. The first female rapper to ever do it. Nicki Minaj has never done it.
Toeboy, you have the floor for your rebuttal.
Okay. Well, first of all, this is the thing that truly bothers me. Are you really sitting there out of your own mouth as a grown man and a music historian and telling me, based on 20 verses of rap that we can find, she is better than any, and to say that she is better than Nicki raps bars around her. I would challenge you to tell me one song that you can tell me that Lauryn Hill rapped better than Nicki Minaj rapped on Monster. I don't think that you can find that. I would love to hear the song if you told me that. Since you want to talk about charts, Nicki Minaj has had 106 songs be in the top 10. Lauryn Hill has 10. Like, you really don't want to do the numbers things. And the reason why I brought up her collaborating with people is because every one of her peers knows that she is the best and that she's rocking and that she's dope. She is a woman that was holding her own with hip hop legends and heavyweights. That is something that your artist never did one time. Matter of fact, she only rapped 20 times on her solo album. She gave you 9 verses. She rapped 9 times. She sung the whole album. And you always give her so much props for getting the Grammy. They gave her a Grammy for Best R&B Album because it wasn't a rap album. Go ahead.
Time. Tony, you have 2 minutes for your rebuttal.
Now, okay, like I said, less is more. The song that's #1 on the chart for Lauryn Hill is her rapping in the song by herself. Bars. You can say, oh, she only rapped on 5 songs on the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. When she did rap, it went to #1. Impact. Less is more. Just because Nicki Minaj is working with everybody doesn't make her a better MC. Lil' Kim's been working with people. Foxy Brown worked with people. Female rappers pull up to albums. Rhapsody was on Kendrick's album. They're great. You know, Nicki Minaj, yeah, of course they want to work with her. She's popular. Put her on the track. But are people remembering these features? Yes, I'll give you, Monster was an absolute monster of a verse. One of the best guest verses in hip hop, period. But this ain't about a guest verse. This is about the full spectrum of it. Lauryn Hill, small but mighty. The body of work is small, but it's mighty. And no, she won Album of the Year at the Grammys. She won 5 Grammys in one night. Nicki Minaj has 0 Grammys, bro. 0. Lauryn Hill went home like this, fully stocked, Like she grabbed everything off the bin before the quarantine. Like, let me get all these Grammys. Let me just get all these Grammys and then dip off. Nicki Minaj is having a meltdown because she doesn't have any Grammys. You know, no disrespect, but that's what it is.
All right, Tony, you actually have the floor now for the awards section of our debate.
I thought that was mine. That was me.
Is it?
I just rebutted his sales.
No. Tony had sales where he
And now
started. You had lyrics.
Oh yeah.
Tony
Now he
had
does
awards. You
Okay,
have
you're right.
impact.
Let's go. My bad.
All right, Tony, the awards section of the debate is all yours.
Now, what Lauryn Hill was able to do at the Grammys for Miseducation of Lauryn Hill was unprecedented at the time. For her to take home 4 Grammys in one night, she set a record that night for female artists. It's probably been broken since then because everybody's winning Grammys differently now, and they got more nominations than you can shake a stick at now. But at that time, it was record breaking. Now, I know she's singing a lot on that album. She's singing a whole lot on that album. But when she does rap, it's potent bars. And the thing about Nicki's bars, they're not sticking. They're not sticking to anybody's ribs. Other than Monster, none of her verses are sticking to nobody's ribs.
He said her verses.
Because she ain't talking about that. She ain't talking about nothing. Talk and floss is pretty much her whole catalog on these bars. Can she tell a story? Does she take it deep? I ain't talking about no mixtape stories either. I'm talking about when the albums matter, when it counts, when she in that studio. Is she saying anything award worthy? Now, in a different time, Nicki Minaj has a bunch of awards and nominations because we got 8,500 award shows now. Back in Lauren's day, it wasn't that many award shows. But I'll tell you what, she was winning.
Doughboy, you have the floor for the awards portion of our argument.
Thank you, Kevin. I'm so glad that we're at this part. And I'm sorry, I was looking at the comments. People were saying that I was yelling. I apologize. I'm just really passionate about this, and I really want my client to get her justice today. I'm going to go ahead and calm down because I know I got the facts on my side because I did my research. Research, and he's just winging it. Here we go. So when it comes to awards, I think it's fair to look at all of the awards because Tony would love to sit here and harp so hard on the Grammys, and that's where we're going to finish up on the Grammys. But before we talk about that, let's talk about all of the awards because there are Billboard Awards, there are MTV Awards, there are BET Awards, there are a lot. So let's just talk about awards. Lauryn Hill has been nominated for 75 awards in her career, in her illustrious career. Of those 75, she won 40. She's killing it. Now let's just look at what the award system has to say for Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj. So it's a little bit different here. Hold on one second. Nicki Minaj has been nominated for 435 awards, and she has won 154 awards. 154 awards. So she has twice as many wins as your client has nominations. Now, when you talk about, oh, but she won a Grammy. Oh, she won a Grammy. Let's talk about that Grammy because that's the thing that everybody harps upon. She did win a Grammy. What did she win a Grammy for? Because we're here to argue who's the best rapper. Who is the best rapper? What did they give her Grammys for? They gave her Album of the Year, not Rap Album of the Year. Cool, that's one of them. They gave her Best R&B Album because it was an R&B album. She got a Grammy for that. They gave her Best Female R&B Vocal Performance. Okay, and then they also gave her one, and she got Best New Artist. So when Nicki goes 0 for 10, because she did go 0 for 10, and that sucks to get nominated for something 10 times and then nobody ever says anything about it. Like, what's that about? But let's at least see what at least the Grammys called her. They nominated her for Best Rap Performance, didn't get it. Best New Artist, Album of the Year, Best Rap Performance, Best Rap Album, Best Rap Song, Best Pop Duo, Best Rap Song Collaboration, Best Rap Performance, Best Rap Album. Of her 4 albums, 2 of them were nominated for Best Rap Album. Lauryn Hill has never been nominated for Best Rap Album. Now, if we want to go to other, and then I know that you want to say, oh, but she didn't get a Grammy. She didn't get a Grammy. She didn't. Okay, that's cool. Because I looked up and I checked, well, who else didn't get a Grammy? Like, are there any other notable artists that have never got one? Well, there is. Biggie never had one. Nas, Snoop, Diana Ross, Tupac, Sammy Davis Jr., Run DMC, Jimi Hendrix, Katy Perry, Bob Marley, and Janis Joplin all never had Grammys. So I don't hold that much weight into the Grammys. Now let's talk about the culture because we want to talk about impact. Let's talk about,
Impact is next.
Okay,
Let's stick to the awards.
Okay, awards. Let's stick to awards then. Let's talk about BET awards because that's for the culture, right? That's what they give us because we don't get nominated and shown anywhere else. She was nominated for 29 BET awards. She won 11. She was nominated for 37 BET Hip Hop awards and won 8. She was nominated for 26 Billboard awards. She won 4.
Just think about
now those are 3 categories that Lauryn Hill has 0 awards in any of those because she stopped rapping after 1998, so she wasn't there for any of those things. So my client has been nominated 435 times to win 154. Yours has 70 and 140. And I don't care about your Grammy because they don't hold weight in the streets. Go ahead.
Tony, you have the floor for your rebuttal, 2 minutes max. Also, Doughboy, Katy Perry was a hilarious person to keep in there. Go ahead, Tony.
Okay. Now, let me check those numbers real quick, Doughboy. What were the numbers for Nicki Minaj's awards versus wins?
435 nominations, 154 wins.
You about to hit him with the percentage?
By 430. So she has a 35%
calculation.
Win percentage. She has a 35%. Lauryn Hill is 53% on the win percentage. So Lauryn Hill is a pound per pound a better award. Just based on those averages, the numbers you gave, Lauryn Hill has a higher winning.
Yeah, the Teddy moment. Oh no.
Okay, we're just gonna throw that out there. You can't discount the Fuji contribution just because she's in a rap trio. You can't discount that. She was still spitting bars on that album. Fuji's the score one best rap album at the Grammy. So she does have a Grammy in her crib for best rap album. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay, but
you can't discount the Grammys. Every musician who has ever existed wants a Grammy. Whether they want to admit to it or not, the Grammys are the cream of the crop for any musician when they talk about awards.
Like winning the Super Bowl.
That's the most coveted award.
You know, you're not gonna say like I played football.
Even Tyler the Creator, while he was dissing the Grammys, he was standing there holding his Grammy. He took it home. He put him on blast, but I bet you what? He kept it. He took it home.
All right, Doughboy, the final section before your closing arguments. You have the floor for impact.
Okay. Hold on one second. Okay. All right. As far as impact, I mean, is if saying that she sells more records, more than double isn't good enough, to saying that she has double the awards and nomination, that's not good enough. And then to also say she just simply raps more, that's not enough. Let's just talk about the impact. The impact that Nicki Minaj was able to do. She was able to come into a male-dominated sport and hang with the big boys. That's what separates her from everyone else. There is no other female rapper. And well, let's just keep it out of that right now. Lauryn Hill never went out there and traded bars with the best pound for pound MCs. The reason why I said that long list of names and I ran it off like that to you quick is because anybody that has been relevant in music for the past 10 years has done music with her. Why would all of these people decide to do music with somebody who was not good? Why would Jay-Z say, Jay-Z doesn't need a look. He doesn't need anything from Nicki Minaj. Why would he do songs with her? Why would, you know what I mean? All these different people, that's Kanye West, different people that she's gone bar to bar. And that's the thing that I think people do not give her credit for. She came in the game and for 10 years, she did not give it up. Lauryn Hill came in the game. She was there for 2 summers. She got bored with it. She went to go do other things in life. She did not do enough to complete the mission though. And Nicki Minaj did it, and she did it on every level. Anything that you're saying now is just an easy way to just discount her. I'm saying just look at the sheer volume. 238 raps to 20 raps. You are defending someone and calling them the greatest of all time, and they only rapped for you 20 times. Even if you tried to put that on a full-length album and you want 12 songs and you wanted 2 verses a song, she still would be 4 verses short to give you a full
God.
album of content. Meanwhile, Nicki Minaj has so much output, so many bars, so many cadences, so many collaborations. She just did it entirely too much for
Lauryn
this
Hill
to
just didn't have
even be
enough
a comparison.
chances.
And she
She
changed the
didn't put
game
enough
for
music
female
out there
rappers to
have
come
the opportunity
forever.
to fall off.
Tony, you have the floor.
All right. I can't say that Nicki
There's gotta be the
Minaj
opportunity to
has
fall off,
changed
and
the
then you don't.
game for female rappers forever. Like I can't sit here and see any difference that she's made when it comes to female MCs. I don't see any difference. I don't really see a correlation. Oh, Nicki opened the door for me. For who? And out of all those people that you
Cardi,
named,
Megan,
how many were other female MCs that she's collabed with? Yeah, she raps
who would
with
agree? 'Cause
men.
They
Where
all
the
got
women
Lil
at?
Kim's DNA in them.
Where are the
Like,
women at? How many women in the rap game is she collabing with? Who is she rapping with bar for bar on a regular basis? I'm sure there's somebody because she's done 1,000 projects. There's got to be somebody in there. But you naming a bunch of men, okay, that's nice. That's great. Good for her. But you know, Lauryn, you know, she came up in a group with two guys and a girl. You know, she does that. But let's talk about impact. The image. What image is Nicki Minaj putting out there for the people to consume? What is she putting out? A Barbie doll? That's what's changing the game. That's the impact. A Barbie, a black Barbie. Okay, that's real impactful for young black female children. Yes, I want to be a black Barbie. Oh, okay, that's a dream. I want to be plastic wrapped and manufactured and processed. Okay, that's a great image. Lauryn Hill put forth the image that black is beautiful. Natural hair is beautiful. Being proud of your blackness is beautiful. That's the impact Lauryn Hill put out here on the streets to the masses.
You going to the
Okay,
heritage
when you
bag,
sell
it's a
19
big
million
bag.
albums worldwide, you reach beyond just the black audience. And that's the image and impact Lauryn Hill gave to the world. She's scooping up all the Grammys looking like an African queen out here. That's impactful to young black girls who there are more young black girls that look like Lauryn than Nicki Minaj. When they on these college campuses going to classes and all this kind of stuff, they looking like Lauryn Hill out here. Less is more, dressed down, you know what I'm saying? Getting the straight A's. That's impact right there. You know what I'm saying? You talk about impact, and it still resonates today. The miseducation of Lauryn Hill still resonates today. You can't even sit here and say Nicki Minaj has a classic album that you bump on a regular rotation. The score and the miseducation of Lauryn Hill are still potent today. All you brought up was a monster verse. Okay. What other classic does she have on the bar tip? Impact. Okay. All right.
Well, I'm
Doughboy, you almost have to be muted when you're not talking. You
let
can't.
me rebuttal a little bit. All right, so you said,
All right,
well,
2 minutes max.
okay, you said which women has she collaborated with? Okay, Madonna, one of the, okay, Alicia Keys, okay, Sierra, okay, Beyonce, okay, Katy Perry, okay, Avril Lavigne. You want to say other female rappers? Meg Thee Stallion, Trina. She did a song with Cardi B, Keisha Cole, Fergie, Mariah Carey, Britney Spears. Is that enough women for you, Tony Baker? Is that enough women? But this is the thing that I want to say. Your artists simply don't rap enough. You cannot take 20 verses and call it a career. That's not even an album. I was utterly astonished when I found out that we are even having this. I would rather you sit up here and bring Little Kim. Give me somebody who actually raps enough. The woman is great. She's a great talent. She's a great singer. But when you talk about rap, you cannot say, I'm going to say 20 verses in my whole career, 11 in a group, 9 by myself, and I'm better than anybody. Get out of here. Nicki worked hard. She worked her butt off to be the best. She has the sales. She has the awards. And all you have is your opinion. You keep telling me your opinion. I don't care about your opinion. Talk to me about the facts. Talk to me about how we can tangibly say who is better. Sales is a great way to do that. She doubled her. Awards is a great way. She doubled her. Raps, just saying raps, the art of saying a rap. She 238 to 20. And you're sitting here talking to me about this woman is the greatest. She doesn't work on her craft enough to be the greatest as a rapper. I'm sorry.
She's 19 extra.
Tony, you have the floor. Doughboy's upset again. He said he was going to be calm.
How are we arguing about this?
Go ahead, Tony.
he keeps going back to the argument that more always means better. It doesn't. Pound for pound, Lauryn Hill was harder hitting than Nicki Minaj. If you want to just look at Fugees' The Score and The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, pound for pound, Nicki Minaj's projects have not reached those heights. Let's just do The Miseducation versus Pink Friday, the debut album. Lauryn outsold her. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. It's just what it is. The Score outsold those albums as well. Yeah, she has a bigger body of work, but that doesn't make you better. That's like you saying, you know, any MC that has 10 albums is better than Biggie Smalls. Is Too Short better than Notorious B.I.G.? Is E40 better than Notorious B.I.G.? These are conversations you don't hear, even though they have an Biggie only got 2 albums. He's always in the conversation. Less is more, though. Pound for pound, what Lauryn Hill was able to do in a short period between 96 and 99 was unprecedented.
Black Thought.
And if Lauryn Hill were to come out with that type of content in today's society, where you get the streaming, you know, thanks for participating, platinum plaques now. Oh, you got 1 million streams, you platinum now. She'd have mopped it up. You know what it is. No disrespect to Nicki, but we appreciate the work she's putting in, and she's doing a lot. But pound for pound, Lauryn Hill's legacy is intact.
Doughboy, you have the floor for 2-minute max closing arguments.
All right, here's my closing arguments. Here's my inherent problem with why people will not give Nicki the title of the GOAT. We all understand that hip hop is a male-dominated sport. Women had to go extra hard to get the respect from their peers. So when we crown the GOAT, we should at least make it fair. Now, if you are telling me that Lauryn Hill is just an all-around better rapper, I'd listen to you. But the fact of the matter is, she does not even have enough output to be considered that. She gave you 9 verses on her 1 solo album. Her other album, she needed the help of 2 other guys. Meanwhile, Nicki gave you 4 solo albums on her own, 240 verses that we can tell you about that she rapped, going bar for bar with legends, holding her own. Lauryn never even gave you a whole album of her rapping. So my thing is, we always looking to push for equality amongst men and women in hip hop, and we are making great strides in that direction. But let's think, when we're crowning the GOAT of the female rap, just look at the numbers and take your opinion out of it. Look at the sheer output of rap music by these 2 ladies. And it's safe to say that Nicki Minaj has made this it's not even a discussion. She sells more, she's awarded more, she raps more, she is better. And for somebody that I respect so much in music to argue so much on those 20 verses, I just can't get that to you. Those verses were not that good to give her the GOAT title. Were they good verses? Yes. But she is not the greatest of all time. Nicki is, and if you can't see that, I don't know.
More isn't better necessarily.
I rest my case. You got to say that.
I rest my case.
Enough material,
Tony Baker, you have the floor for closing arguments.
Again, you know, no disrespect to Nicki Minaj. And her verse in Monster is one of my favorite verses in rap, period. But, you know, it just comes down to what's sticking to people's ribs. What verses and bars from Nicki Minaj are really sticking to people's ribs?
Grits, oatmeal.
What's sticking around?
Does it stick to the ribs?
Does she have a Ready or Not verse? Does she have any of that outside of Monster? Doughboy, I never in my life heard you quote anything from Nicki Minaj. The only thing we discuss is Monster. We talk about Nicki Minaj, but I don't hear you singing her. I don't hear you dropping the bars. You know how sampled Lauryn Hill.
Fire.
This one girl, what's the girl's name from the TV show that just got in trouble for saying frontin' niggas give me heebie-jeebies?
That was one of the last ones.
That's Gina Rodriguez, Tony.
Gina Rodriguez got in trouble because of a Lauryn Hill lyric that came out years ago, because it stuck to her ribs. It made an impact. Yeah, she got in trouble for it, but we all knew the lyric, and it was written by Lauryn Hill. You keep bringing up all those collabs. There was a lot of female singers in that joint. You was rattling them off with the utmost confidence. Now, Lauryn Hill should be in the conversation. Do I think she's my favorite of all time based on the body of work? My favorite female rapper of all time right now is Rhapsody. But I think when you go impact, Lauryn Hill and what she was able to accomplish is the greatest of all time. Shout out to Missy Elliott, MC Lyte, Lil Kim, Foxy Brown, Bahamadia. But Lauryn Hill changed the world.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've heard the opening arguments. You have heard the evidence presented. You have heard the closing arguments. Now it's up to you. In the comments, let us know who you think won this debate. I am curious to know who the Patreon is saying, so I'm watching that right now. But I'm not going to say that out loud because I don't want to sway you. Patrons, you have it right now. All you need to put in the comments is Doughboy or Tony. That'll tell me who you think won.
People have to deem you worthy of the machine.
Thank you very much, council members, for this debate. Also, throw in the comments any other great debates. I'll go out and find the people. These are the ones that I'm interested in having. Beyonce versus Michael Jackson, who's the greatest performer of all time. Right? Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. And think of that nature. Right now, you both can check the comments. It's going one way in the live. It's going one way in the live. But in the people who are watching now on YouTube or Facebook, let me know. Thank you very much, councilmen. Thank you guys for watching our very first episode of That's Debatable. Who's the greatest female rapper of all time?
So I'm sticking with Nicki for now. I think Rhapsody's coming. Lil Kim's obviously in the conversation. Lauryn Hill, from a talent standpoint, is obviously up there, yes. But again, just not enough. The body of work, the quantity is just not there. The quality is there. Quantity. You know what I mean? Like, if the number one thing, the number one job of an athlete, the number one job of a company, the number one job of an industry, the number one job of an employee, the number one job of in any walk of life is availability. Lauryn Hill wasn't available. She gave us one album. It was great. Do I think it's a little overrated? That's a different conversation, but it is great. But you can't do 9 songs, rap songs, and be considered the best. You can't keep bringing up Biggie's name. His life was cut down short. And Biggie's been passed up, quite frankly. Jay-Z's better than Biggie. Black Thought's better than Biggie. I can keep going, to be honest with you. And I love Biggie. But yeah, man, that was my opinion didn't change. As of now, I would still say Nicki. But it's not like really clear cut. Even though Jordan LeBron's not clear cut to me. And I'll get into that on another video I'm gonna post. But part 1 and 2 of The Last Dance, because that's my prime. I was in 11th grade. Yeah, I was a junior when Jordan was I a junior? I was going to my senior year. I was a junior going to my senior year for the last Jordan run. So I that was my life. Like, that's when I was eat, sleep, sports. I didn't have a family to provide for, and I didn't have to pay Duke Energy. So I remember that time. And watching the first 2 chapters has me thinking LeBron might be actually better than Jordan. But we'll get into that on video down the road. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. For those who watched the previous video, did this change your mind? Leave a comment down below. If this is your first time seeing this debate, who do you have as the best female rapper of all time? Is it Lauryn Hill? Is it Nicki Minaj? Or is it somebody else? Lil Kim? Or you want to throw another name out there? MC Lyte? There's a bunch of names you can throw out there. There's a bunch of names you could throw out there because it's not really clear cut. So I'm curious to see what everybody thinks. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you remember to smash the like button. Click the notification bell. Leave a comment down below as well. If there's any other videos that you want me to react to. That helps me out in keeping everything fresh and creative. So hope you guys are staying safe. Stay inside if you can. Practice good hygiene. And I'll get you guys in the next video. All right. Peace out.